Welcome to Macro Money Talk, where we uncover the secret financial strategies that the ultra-wealthy use to build their massive empires. Have you ever wondered how billionaires pay less tax than their secretaries while living a life of absolute luxury and freedom? The answer lies not in how much money they earn from a job, but in how they structure their entire existence. For the average person, income is the ultimate goal, but for the rich, income is actually a trap to avoid. When you earn a salary, the government takes a massive cut before you even get to touch a single penny. This is the system designed for the working class, keeping them running on a hamster wheel of earning and paying taxes. However, there is a secret door that the elite walk through. A strategy known in financial circles as buy, borrow, die. At this three-step formula is the holy grail of distributed wealth preservation, allowing billionaires to live like kings while paying zero taxes. Today, we are going to break down exactly how this mechanism works, step by step, so you can understand the game. First, we must understand the problem with salaries. In the United States, high-income earners can be taxed up to 37%. That means for every dollar you work hard to earn, the government takes more than a third before you spend it. This creates a massive drag on your ability to build wealth, acting as friction that slows down your financial momentum significantly. The wealthy know that relying on a paycheck is a losing game because the tax code is rigged against earned income. So they switch the game entirely. They stop working for money and start making their money work for them through assets. This brings us to the first step of the strategy: buy. The goal here is to accumulate appreciating assets, not cash. Rich people use their capital to purchase things that grow in value over time, such as stocks, real estate, or businesses. Imagine you buy a large amount of stock in a promising company. Over 10 years, that stock value triples in price. Or perhaps you purchase a commercial building in a prime location. Its market value skyrockets as the city develops around it. Here is the critical concept. As long as you do not sell these assets, you have what is called unrealized gains. The taxman cannot touch unrealized gains. You do not owe a single cent of tax on that growth yet. If you sell, you trigger a taxable event. The government steps in and demands their share of your capital gains immediately. Therefore, the golden rule of the ultra-wealthy is simple: never sell. Selling is admitting defeat to the tax system. Think about the richest people in the world. Their wealth is not in a bank account. It is tied up in stock. Their net worth might jump from 1 million to 100 million, but their taxable income remains incredibly low, almost zero. But wait, if they never sell their assets and have no salary, how do they pay for their super yachts and mansions? This is the question that baffles the middle class. How do you buy groceries or private jets if you have no cash? Enter step 2, borrow. This is where the magic happens. They turn their solid assets into liquid cash without selling. Instead of selling stock, they go to a bank and use that stock as collateral for a massive loan or credit line. Because they have billions in assets, banks view them as extremely low-risk borrowers, practically zero risk of default. Consequently, the banks offer them interest rates that are incredibly low, often just 2 or 3%, sometimes even less. Here is the key: borrowed money is not income. It is a liability. Therefore, it is completely tax-free cash flow. You can borrow $10 million to live on, and the IRS cannot tax a single dime of that money. Would you rather pay 37% to the government or 2% to the bank? The math is overwhelmingly simple. They use this borrowed money to fund their lavish lifestyle, buy more assets, or even start new business ventures. The genius part is that their assets usually grow faster than the interest rate on the loan they have taken out. If their stock portfolio grows at 8% and the loan costs 3%, they are still making a 5% profit. They are effectively getting paid to borrow money to live. It is a perpetual motion machine of wealth creation. This cycle can be repeated over and over again. Acquire assets, borrow against them, buy more assets, and never sell anything. While the average person is drowning in high-interest consumer debt, the wealthy use low-interest strategic debt to avoid taxes. This strategy allows them to access liquidity without triggering capital gains tax, keeping their principal investment growing uninterrupted for decades. But eventually, everyone must face the end. What happens to all that debt and those huge unrealized gains when they die? This leads us to the final and most controversial step: die. It sounds morbid, but it is the ultimate tax loophole. When the wealthy individual passes away, a tax provision known as the step-up in basis is immediately triggered. To understand this, you need to know that capital gains tax is based on the difference between purchase price and selling price. Normally, if you sold, you would pay tax on all that growth. But at death, the cost basis is reset completely. The value of the assets is adjusted to their fair market value on the date of death, wiping out the tax liability. This means the heirs can sell the assets the very next day and pay absolutely zero capital gains tax on the past growth. Decades of appreciation, potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in profit, become completely tax-free for the next generation instantly. But what about the loans? Remember all that money they borrowed to live on? The estate still owes that debt to the bank. Smart billionaires plan for this too. They often hold massive life insurance policies specifically designed to pay off these loans. The tax-free insurance payout settles the bank debt, leaving the valuable assets fully intact and debt-free for the heirs. The cycle is now complete. The wealth has been transferred to the next generation without losing a significant chunk to taxes. And guess what the heirs do? They restart the process. They keep the assets, borrow against them, and the dynasty continues. This mechanism is a primary driver of dynastic wealth, allowing rich families to compound their fortunes indefinitely across centuries. Critics argue this is unfair, as it allows the richest citizens to opt out of the tax system that funds society. Governments occasionally talk about closing these loopholes, but the laws are complex and the wealthy have armies of lobbyists. For now, the buy, borrow, die strategy remains perfectly legal and is the standard operating procedure for the top 1%. So, what can you learn from this? You might not be a billionaire, but the principles of asset ownership still apply. Stop focusing solely on increasing your salary. Start focusing on acquiring assets that appreciate and can be leveraged later. Understanding the rules of the game is the first step to escaping the rat race and building true, lasting freedom. Buy assets, borrow against them to avoid taxes, and use estate planning to pass wealth on efficiently. That is the formula. It requires discipline, financial education, and a long-term vision that looks beyond the next paycheck to the next generation. In a world of financial uncertainty, knowledge is your only lighthouse. Do not just work for money. Master the flow of money. We hope this breakdown has opened your eyes to the reality of how wealth is actually built and preserved today. If you found value in this video, please like and share it with someone who needs to hear this truth. Thank you for watching Macro Money Talk. Subscribe now to master the financial games played by the world's richest elite. Let's dig deeper into the buy phase. The wealthy often diversify into art, vintage cars, and wine, not just stocks. These tangible assets serve a dual purpose. They are enjoyable to own, and they appreciate significantly in value over time. Real estate is particularly powerful because it offers tax deductions for depreciation, even while the property value is actually going up. Buying assets is also a hedge against inflation. Keeping cash in the bank guarantees you lose purchasing power every single year. Regarding the borrow phase, private banks often compete to lend to the ultra-wealthy, offering terms unavailable to the public. These loans often do not require monthly principal payments. The borrower only pays the interest, keeping cash flow requirements very low. There is a risk, of course. If asset values crash, the bank may issue a margin call, forcing a sale. However, the ultra-wealthy maintain enough buffer assets to cover these dips without panic, riding out the storm until markets recover. Estate planning starts decades before death. Trusts are established to manage how and when the heirs receive the assets. Trusts not only help with taxes but also protect the family wealth from lawsuits, divorces, and irresponsible spending by heirs. Charitable giving is another layer. Donating appreciated assets to a foundation avoids capital gains tax and provides a deduction. By combining buy, borrow, die with charitable foundations, they solidify their legacy and social influence while minimizing tax exposure. This is not new. The great industrial dynasties of the past century perfected these methods to pass fortunes down through generations. While tax rates and regulations fluctuate over time, the core principle of owning assets versus earning income remains the constant truth. You do not need millions to start. You can buy ETFs, invest in a rental property, or start a side business. Building a pristine credit score is essential. It is your ticket to accessing cheap debt when you are ready to leverage. But be careful. Never use debt to buy things that lose value. Only borrow to buy assets or when secured by assets. Time is your best friend. The earlier you start accumulating assets, the more powerful the compounding effect will be for you. Pass this knowledge on to your children. Financial literacy is the most valuable inheritance you can leave, far more than cash. While we focused on the US tax code, variations of this strategy are used by the wealthy in jurisdictions worldwide. Capital is fluid. It flows to where it is respected and protected, and flees from places where it is heavily penalized. Remember the fundamental distinction. Income is what you earn from sweating. Wealth is what you own that earns for you. Do not just consume this content as entertainment. Use it as a blueprint to restructure your own financial life starting today. The game of money is rigorous, but once you understand the rules of the board, you can play to win. Every Financial decision you make is a vote for your future. Choose to be an owner, not just a worker. Equip yourself with the right tools. Learn to read a balance sheet and understand the tax code. Fear is caused by ignorance. The path to financial independence is steep and difficult, but the view from the top is worth every bit of effort. Your financial dawn is coming. It starts with a shift in mindset from earner to owner, from spender to accumulator. Data shows that the majority of wealth is generated through equity and real estate, not through saving money from a salary. It is time to upgrade your operating system. Leave the old ways of thinking behind and embrace the strategies of the wealthy. We leave you with this question. What is the one asset you can buy this year that will start your journey? Research, study, and take action. The information is out there, but only those who apply it will reap the rewards. Macro Money Talk is dedicated to bringing you these insights. We decode the complex world of finance into simple, actionable steps. Join the conversation below. Let us know your thoughts on the buy, borrow, die strategy. Is it brilliant or unfair? Make sure you have hit that notification bell so you never miss a future update on how to grow your wealth. In our next video, we will explore how the wealthy position themselves during a recession to buy assets for pennies on the dollar. As Einstein reportedly said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, earn it. Others pay it. Let your wealth flow like a river, growing stronger as it moves until it reaches the vast ocean of financial freedom. Our team works tirelessly to research these topics so you can save time and get straight to the high-value information. We truly appreciate your time and attention. In an economy of distraction, your focus is your most valuable asset of all. Educate yourself, accumulate assets, and liberate your future. That is the mission we are on together here at this channel. Plant the seeds today for the shade you want to sit in tomorrow. Your future self will thank you for it. Money is a language. Once you become fluent in it, you can communicate value anywhere in the world without barriers. Build relationships, seek mentors, and never stop learning. The path to wealth is rarely walked alone. Find your tribe. As the sun rises on a new day, take a moment to reflect on your strategy. Are you buying, borrowing, or just paying? This has been a deep dive into the buy, borrow, die strategy. We hope it serves you well in your journey. Thank you for watching Macro Money Talk. Subscribe now to master the financial games played by the world's richest elite.